Welcome into this week's WCS Sports Connection. I'm your host, Patrick Whitlock, District Athletic Director, and with me always is Tate Mathews.
How you doing, my friend?
It's getting a little cold outside, my man.
It is really cold. Supposedly Snowmageddon is coming, so we'll see.
Next week could look vastly
It
different.
could
on
look
this show.
vastly well, and it could not even be here.
Might be on Zoom.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Happy Martin Luther King Day weekend. Also, national championship game was Monday night. Indiana, Miami. Did you were your picks correct, or you went with the game?
No. I thought Indiana was going to win.
Yeah.
I kind of stayed away from any, guesses on lines or anything like that. But I felt Indiana was going to win, and I turned it off with about 8 minutes to go because I thought it was over when they went up 24-14.
No, I know.
I was like, I got to get up early, and I was wrong. But nonetheless, congrats to the Hoosiers and Fernando Mendoza.
You don't like the Hoosiers?
No, not a fan. Anyway, sorry, Craig. Anyway, we got some bowling. We're going to start off with some bowling this week. 2 weeks in a row, we're going to lead with it, and we got great news. The Franklin girls defeated MLK to advance to the state tournament. They will play this Thursday at Smyrna Bowl at 1 p.m. against Hardin County.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great for the Lady Admirals. Hardin County, the 12-time defending state champions. That's pretty strong.
Oh, wow.
12-time.
That's what we would call a dynasty.
A dynasty, yes.
For sure.
But let's just, hey, man, it's kind of like Cleveland in wrestling. You're going to have to beat them at some point. Let's go ahead and knock them off in the very first round of the state tournament.
Absolutely. Shock the world, ladies. Also, we got some girls qualifiers for individual, and that's Abigail Harless and Izzy Sears from Franklin, and then Isabel Warner from Indy. And then on the boys' side, we have one from Indy, Jonah Stanley. Also, unified bowling. Franklin and Nolensville have qualified for the state tournament, so good luck to that crew as well as they will compete here near the end of the week.
That's right.
Probably won't get it all in because I think it's supposed to go Thursday through Saturday. Perhaps they move it up. We'll see what happens.
How many inches are you seeing, and then how many are you buying?
Well, like the Apple app says 17 to 21.
There's no way.
So I think that means more than 3 to 5.
2.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be real.
That
two,
shuts
3, 4.
relativity down.
It's going to have an impact for sure. Let's just hope it isn't ice. Because, ice is cool for like a day, but then you're paralyzed at home. You can't do anything.
Right.
You can't
It's no
sled.
fun.
No, it's no good. So, all right, we are getting close to the end of wrestling season. We've got some district and regional duels coming up here soon. Fairview had 2 duels past Thursday night. They beat district opponents Cheatham County 46-33 and beat Eagleville 52-29. Fairview's Cole Neal beat number 2 ranked Thomas Solomon from Eagleville by a tech fall, 18-3, and that is
Boat Race City.
Boat Race City.
Wrestling edition.
Yeah, beat him in the second period there. So congrats to Coach Curtis and Fairview as they get ready to get into district and region duels later this week. And then Nolensville. Coach Gray from Page sent me a little nugget. He says Nolensville is far and away the number 2 team in the state, right behind Cleveland. Really good program. Could make a little bit of a run this year, don't you think?
They're rolling right now, man. Yeah, I think so for sure. And when I saw that Page score, which you're getting ready to talk about, that I was like, what am I missing here?
Right.
That did not add up. Other than Nolensville's wrestling really, really well. So yeah, until somebody knocks off Cleveland, but we've talked about it on here for years now. We're gonna get them. It's just when getting closer. Closer and closer.
Well, let's hope this is the year.
We hope this is the year.
Could happen. Sure. So Nolensville beat Page 57-4 this week. And then Jake Sentinel and Brody Melzoni, that has become a household name on this show.
Yes.
Perhaps, definitely in the mix to be one of the best wrestlers in the state. They went up to the Escape the Rock tournament in Holland, Pennsylvania over the weekend to compete there. Don't have the results from that, but pretty prestigious opportunity for them.
It is. They've been really all over kind of the East Coast, up from north down to southeast. Brody Melzoni, 36-3 on the year, Coach Whitlock.
That's
all
strong.
3 losses from outside of the state of Tennessee. 2 from wrestlers in Pennsylvania and 1 from wrestlers from a wrestler in New Jersey. So that's pretty strong. Remember, he wrestled in the Johnny Drennan 85 Memorial Invitational. So only losses came out of state. And then Jake is sitting here at 31-7.
Wow.
So, and again, most of those
not local.
No.
Not local losses there for sure. So, speaking of Page, they defeated Columbia Central and Summit last week. and then they travel to Coach Gray's alma mater, Knox Halls, to compete this weekend. They will finish up district match this week against Indy on Tuesday, and then we get into district duels later in the week. Ravenwood defeated arch rival Brentwood 42-30 last week, as well as Hillsborough and James Lawson. According to Charles Pulliam, the atmosphere over at Brentwood for this Battle of the Woods was off the charts great. So great job there. Ravenwood went to the Christian Brothers Duel Tournament and entered 36 wrestlers this past weekend. And then it's postseason time. They've got Overton Tuesday, and then Thursday they'll be at Nolensville for the Regional Duel Championship. Most likely it's going to be Ravenwood 1, Brentwood 2 out of that district, and then Nolensville 1, Page 2 out of the other district. Summit will probably have something to say about that 2 spot as they narrowly lost to Page last week. But it's going to be a pretty intense atmosphere, I think, Thursday over there at Nolensville.
Without a doubt. I think it would be a major upset if Nolensville gets beat. But that Page, Summit, and 1 point victory for Page, obviously that you have one match flip.
Yeah,
you know,
it could go either way.
Either way. Or you could have a kid who didn't get pinned get pinned. I mean, that's how quickly that can flip. But that did jump out to me. Page has been growing their program, and for them, you know, it's been a while since they beat Summit in a duel, I guess is what I'm saying.
For sure. So it'll be one District 1 versus the other District 2 in the regional final, and flip-flop there, 1 versus 2, and then they will see the winners of that will compete to see where they go for the sectionals on Saturday. Hopefully. I mean, they got to get it in this next week.
Weather permitting.
Yeah, so there could be some changes to that schedule when we're all said and done. Perhaps those matches are moved to Friday, just so they can get them in, because I know TWSAA has some tight timelines.
They do.
Probably not ideal to have to wrestle back-to-back days, though, correct?
No, and then there's a thing in wrestling called making weight.
Right.
And so, you know, this time of year, and you need those days, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know how that'll work.
So could be some changes to schedule. Stay tuned to Twitter and any other information you can find, because things change quickly when weather creeps in.
Be available and be paying attention.
No doubt. So, all right, girls basketball. The game of the week last week, Nolensville 54, Page 51, an overtime game. Sarah Brakefield led Nolensville with 16 points, Josie Ladd 14, Nyla Johnson 12. For the Lady Patriots, Lily Espelette had 16, and then Gentry and Jordan Maddox each had 12 for Page. It's a pretty intense game. I don't think a lot of us saw Nolensville beating Page. They got beat, not easily, but they got kind of taken care of by Page before Christmas break, and then they come back and score a big win. These are the 2 best teams in Williamson County, and they're probably going to meet at least one more time this year.
I would think so too, yeah. And it was back and forth. Page started off hot. Nolensville came back. Nolensville blew a 9-point lead at the end of the game.
Yeah, Coach Ladd was not happy with their execution in the fourth quarter.
Shouldn't be. I mean, you can't. They ended up getting the win in overtime, which is great, but you can't give up a lead like that to Page. Lucky to get out of there with a win, but a win nonetheless. And yes, I do think. But these two have been really battling the past couple of years,
and they're going to continue to battle because Nyla Johnson and Josie Ladd will both be back next year for Nolensville, and Page has so much talent spread across the board. They're going to be the teams to beat for probably a couple of years.
It's not. I mean, no coincidence, but it's not. They're not only the 2 best teams; they're the 2 deepest teams.
Absolutely.
There's not a Ella Ryan or on one of or a Brandamore on one of these 2 teams. It's going to go for 30. But man, by far the 2 deepest teams.
Yeah, Nyla Johnson gets a lot of the pub for Nolensville, but they got a lot more weapons around her. I got to see them Friday night against Ravenwood. They were very, very impressive.
Yep.
Franklin beat Laverne 52-34. Cecily Brandamore had 18 points. Molly Forrest had 16. Indy beats Brentwood 49-32. Riley Brooks scored 17 for Indy. Summit 58, Centennial 27, and then Columbia Central 60, Ravenwood 50. Spring Hill 64, Fairview 61.
Tough.
I think there were like 1,000 fouls called in that game. It was a 3 overtime game. I can't remember the exact number, that Mr. Ricky Jones, the athletic director, put on Fairview's Twitter feed, but it was
a lot.
enormous amount, and it was kind of a shot at the refs. But, hey, it happens.
Kind of.
Yeah, it definitely was. So, now, later in the week, we had some big games. Brentwood 52, Centennial 19, Fairview 39, Montgomery Central 31. Ended a significant losing streak for Fairview, so congrats to the Lady Yellow Jackets. The game I attended, Nolensville 65, Ravenwood 38. And that leads us into our play of the week.
Ladd back out to Maul. Maul to Ladd. Ladd looking inside, back out to Maul. Maul to Johnson, thinks about it. Dribbles back to Ladd. Ladd's looking, finds Maul. Maul to Johnson. Johnson open for the three, and it is good. A breakdown there defensively. I don't think they intended to leave Nyla Johnson open on the perimeter there for that easy three ball.
That's that ball movement we were talking about earlier. Nolensville is making this game simple in their eyes. They are just moving the ball. They are finding the open person, and they are moving the ball around the perimeter, and Ravenwood simply just can't keep up with the pace right now.
All right, so that play of the week, Nyla Johnson knocking down the three. How many passes on that possession?
Teamwork, Coach Whitlock. 6 passes. That is moving the ball around. Nyla drains the three in the corner.
Yeah, one of our longer plays of the week, but good
doubt.
Execution by Nolensville. I think the thing that was most impressive to me about Nolensville is you had kids step up that, Sarah Brakefield, we mentioned her name a lot, but Addie Harris, they had the high-low game going. Coach Ladd had a really good game plan against the zone, in the short corner, in the middle. And what was a very competitive first quarter, 16-14, got away from the Raptors pretty quick there in the second and on. But Ravenwood playing a lot of young kids, starting
Correct.
3 freshmen.
It's tough,
Yeah.
especially against Nolensville.
Yeah, no doubt. So, Franklin defeated Summit 50-33. Brandamore with 32 points. We talk about Nolensville and Page, best player in the district is at Franklin.
Correct.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah, can't coach height. Impacts the game in so many ways. Has expanded her game to the perimeter.
Yeah.
I mean, shooting the ball from the outside, handling it a little bit.
Good hands.
Yeah. I mean, when you have a player like that, you've always got a chance.
Correct.
Like, you have to try and take her out of the game if you're the opponent. And then Page beat Coffee County 72-53. Jordan Maddox 16, Mia Hopton 14. Big win for the Lady Patriots there because Coffee County has been a force that has had to been dealt with in girls basketball for a very long time.
Yeah, they were a state tournament team last year. It was on the road. That's not an easy place to play down there.
It's not an easy trip.
No.
You start driving down 24, and then you realize you still have like an hour and 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, you might as well go to Sewanee, University of South.
For sure.
Jiffy Burger Dump. I mean, it's just
lots going on down there.
Lots to do in Manchester.
For sure. All right, and then in a Saturday game, Blackman defeats Nolensville 53-49. Nyla Johnson got her 1,000th point in her career as just a junior, and then there she is again, Sarah Brakefield with 20. That could be potentially a preview of a sectional game.
I think so too. I was going to say it's a loss, but I like that loss. Blackman's really, really good on the ladies' side. Well, they're good on the boys' side too.
Yeah, I mean they're the team to beat on both boys and girls over there.
Yeah, I think we're going to see that again, whether it be Nolensville or a Page.
For sure. So Nolensville's played Blackman twice this year. Played them in the tournament over at Page over Christmas break, and has had narrow losses. So sometimes that kind of favors you if there's a third matchup. But then again, Nolensville wins the region, they probably won't play Blackman.
That's right.
We'll see how it plays out. So now moving on to boys basketball, the early week games. Franklin handled Laverne 68-29. Conrad Jones, 19 points. Brentwood beat Indy 67-62. Davis Cochran had 30. Jackson McCutcheon 22. Kobe Jackson had 24 for Indy. Were you aware that Indy has a new transfer that's been added to the lineup?
I had heard rumors.
Yes, he is there. He's a big kid, very skilled. I think he's probably about 6'4", 6'5".
Activated this week or last week?
I moved in, I believe, from Kentucky. I've tried to do some background research on it. Information is hard to come by sometimes. But I think he's going to factor in. Indy's starting to kind of emerge as the favorite in 12-4A, but Page and Summit are going to have something to say about it. We'll get to that here in a second.
Yeah. And Kobe Jackson's a guy who can go out there and put a team on his back.
I love Kobe Jackson.
Some reinforcements with him.
The lefty, he is unselfish, always making the right decision. Obviously can score it as well when he needs to. But as he goes, they kind of go. But he facilitates everything there. Was out earlier in the year. He's back to being healthy. Harris Hall has been kind of, had some nicks and bruises as well from what I've been told. So, they get everybody together and healthy. Indy's going to
Eagles going to be a problem. I agree.
For sure. All right, Nolensville 62, Page 56. Chris Johnson 17, Brody Cooper 16, Rylan McKelvey 15, Sashi Puta 18 for Page, the young sophomore. Had a nasty dunk in the first half, but swung on the rim a little bit.
Teed up.
And pulled himself up and got the tee. The Page fans did not agree with it as they came and approached me at the game to get my opinion. I said, as an objective observer, I thought it was a fair call. No dog in the hunt in this one, but...
You didn't win any fans that night, did you?
No, they didn't like my answer, but it is what it is.
It's a technical.
Yeah, you can't pull yourself up. Well, they're
Can't do it.
They said if he would have, taken his hands off the rim, he would have fallen. But he pulled it. I think it wasn't the swinging; it was the chin up that he did as he did it. Nonetheless, I think Page has been playing some really good basketball.
So one of the perks of the job, you don't have the authority to override a call.
It's not
basketball game.
Not part of my gig.
You need to renegotiate that.
I also, try to stay a little incognito when I go to these games, but people always seem to find you. So it's probably my bald head. Anyway, Summit 68, Centennial 66. Very tight game. Centennial almost able to pull the upset there down in Spring Hill last Tuesday. Ravenwood 53, Columbia Central 37. Sam Steppen had 15. Spring Hill defeated Fairview 53-49, and then Summit playing a midweek game against Northeast won 60-39. You'll see that rematch later this week in that game. But then the Friday night games: Brentwood 89, Centennial 74. I believe this was like a 1-point game late in the second quarter, but Brentwood's able to take over in the second half. Davis Cochran 26, Hudson McKnight 13. Carter Ezel drops 30 for the Cougars. Centennial is a dangerous team just because if the shots are falling, you're in for a dogfight.
There's a lot of them.
And if they're not, you're probably going to be okay. I know that's kind of oversimplifying basketball there, but
it's kind of what it is.
Yeah, for sure. Montgomery 72, Fairview 55, Ravenwood 53, Nolensville 43. That leads us to the boys' play of the week.
See on your screen the number 33, Isaac Brent, the 6'4" senior for this Raptors team. He's been such a strong focal point of this team in the paint, and his strength has really been able to box out and get the rebounds that they were really getting in that first half that they need to find in this second half.
Ravenwood drives, gets a clutch basket there. That's going to push the lead to 8.
Brent, now 9 points on the night, has become such a crucial player for this Raptors team. Nolensville having to come a 9-point deficit now.
All right, so there you had the play of the week. Isaac Brent coming off the curl cut. That's a clarion play, and just getting the easy layup. It was a big bucket. It extended that lead from 6 to 8 late in that game.
Always like it when they use the glass.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I think a lot of people were a little surprised that Ravenwood came out and handled Nolensville the way they did.
I would call it an upset for sure. Yeah.
100%.
I mean, yes. I think if you're not a Ravenwood fan, at the beginning of the week when you're looking at this game, you are not picking this as a win. No.
I was surprised.
Yeah. Great win.
Yeah. Braden White, 17 points for the Raptors. Sam Steppen, 15. Brock Wismer, 12. Danny Brown, 12. So getting some really balanced scoring. There's some things kind of changing. I talked to Coach Hooper Saturday afternoon after this other game they played that we'll get to here in a second. And I said, hey, Sam Steppen, who's a transfer from California, who was District Player of the Year in California twice, and then Danny Brown, a transfer from Lipscomb, who played football and has only been back, roughly a month. They're starting to become the players that I think Coach Hooper envisioned them becoming, and that's kind of a game changer right there.
Well, I was going to ask you, when your football guys came back, about how long, and remember, they played the very last day that they possibly could this year.
Right.
Like how far out did you expect?
You got to project at least a month.
That's what I thought.
And like if they're playing Thanksgiving weekend, they're going to get a few weeks in, and then you've got Christmas break, so there's some time away. if you know your football team's going to be good, I always tried to dial back the playbook so there wasn't a whole lot to teach, but sometimes that's not as easy. So they're on schedule now with their football guys of kind of where they need to be.
That's what I was going to ask you is, Danny with 12. I mean, do you think that plays something into this?
Oh, 100%.
Had to have, right?
100%. They got two other guys, Drew Parker in the rotation, and then also Danny's younger brother, Brooks Brown.
Right.
Starting to play a little bit better. They got a lot of depth over there. They just really haven't had people kind of stepping up to score, but now that's starting to emerge a little bit.
No pun intended.
Right. Yeah, good one. Love it. Didn't even do that on purpose. All right. Indy 85, Dixon County 53. Summit 77, Franklin 70. Ford DeShazo 28 points for the Spartans. Colin Robinson led the Admirals with 24. That was the MyTV 30 game of the week. I believe this stat is correct. I don't know that Summit missed a shot in the fourth quarter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think they were like 7 of 7 from the field. If they did miss one, it was like 7 of 8. They trailed with about 3 minutes to go, able to pull it out. I think this is one, I know I did. I looked at it, I was like, oh,
yes,
wow,
I agree.
little surprise there. So congrats to Coach Burgess with that. That's a big win for them. That can give them a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
DeShazo is starting to come into his own. Coverson is a really good player. Have some other guys emerge, but I don't think anyone saw that coming.
I agree, and we were just talking about how Franklin was kind of under the radar, maybe having one of the best seasons in the county. I think they were 14-2 or something like that going into that game, and so only their third loss. Big win. It was the MyTV 30 game. Talked to Mrs. Lamb, the principal of the Spartans. She said the atmosphere was electric. Student body was on fire. It was just a great night to be a Spartan.
And this is not one of the traditional Williamson County rivalries. Now, they're all rivalry games, but when you look at games, you're not thinking like Summit versus Franklin is going to be the biggest draw of the night, but from all accounts, it was a pretty
big one.
Awesome atmosphere there. And then a Thursday night game, Page beat Coffee County 63-39, Josiah Porter 13, Owen Looney and Drew Rimple each had 12.
So it was a good trip for the Patriots to Manchester.
Got the sweep on a Thursday night. Probably not feeling the best on Friday morning, not getting as much sleep as they wanted, but it is what it is. And then we had one Saturday game. I was able to go over and catch this when I was down at Vanderbilt watching Vanderbilt, Florida, and I thought, well, I'll just cruise on over to NBA and check this one out. Ravenwood 77, NBA 65. That final score is deceptive. The Raptors were up by 30 at one point.
Wow.
And NBA, Kevin Anglin, longstanding coach there, great coach, assistant Ronnie McMahon that we both know pretty well.
Yes.
NBA's always had a great program. They got some pretty good talent. Did not look like they were overly excited to be there on Saturday, and Ravenwood came out and jumped on them and really didn't take their foot off the gas. So a nice win for the Raptors. 2 big wins. I think if you would ask Coach Hooper on Thursday, if I told you you're going to be 1-1 this weekend, would you take it? He would have said yes.
I think so too.
Didn't think he was going to go 2-0 there. Raptors building some momentum.
Without a doubt, and safe to say the best week of basketball in Coach Hooper's Ravenwood head coaching tenure.
It's early, but yes.
It's early.
It is.
Those are 2 really good wins.
Which that's going to lead us into some previews here. So
they are really good coaches and good guys, but are they good coaches and good guys because they're 2 of the best Vanderbilt basketball players of all time, the NBA coaches, or because they're really good coaches?
No, I mean, I have a lot of respect. I mean, I think I was 0-3 against Kevin playing against him, so of course I'm going to say he's the best.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And Ronnie is we love Ronnie.
Love Ronnie Mac.
For sure, 100%. So we got some Tuesday night games coming up. Fairview at Harpeth, Indy at Franklin. That's a rematch. Indy got them earlier in the year. On the boys' side, I would expect Franklin to have, a little chip on their shoulder after Friday night.
Bad taste in their mouth.
Yeah, I think they're going to come ready to play.
Although you talked about it, Indy getting better, a little reinforcements.
Yeah,
they're going to be a different team.
And that is a sneaky good girls game.
Yes.
Independence having a good season on the girls' side.
Agreed.
And then, Franklin, I mean, that could be a preview of a region matchup, maybe a semifinal matchup there, potentially even a first round. Brentwood at Page. Girls game, I don't know, Page having a great year. Brentwood, not where they usually are, not off the start they want, but it's still Brentwood. could be a solid game there. The boys' game will be interesting to see. Page is an athletic team. They're deceptively athletic. They've got size, which is something you kind of need to counter. Coach Street does a good job running their stuff. That boys' game could be a little bit more competitive maybe than people think. Obviously, Brentwood having a great year. Shelbyville at Summit, and then Columbia at Nolensville. Nolensville girls shouldn't have any problem, and I expect the boys to kind of come out with a little edge to them too after the disappointing effort on Friday night. And then we got one Thursday game, Summit at Northeast. And, we say these are Friday night games. Pending weather, which things could change quickly. Stay tuned. We'll see. Upper Minute Indy.
Both boys and girls. That's a tough non-district, non-region game.
Well, the McWilliams family, coaching the girls and the boys team. Dana, heck of a girls coach. Always one of the perennial powers in girls basketball. And then the boys are really good. Ty Cobb, he's a heck of a player.
If you have not seen him play,
it's worth the trip down to Thompson Station on Friday night to check him out.
What is it now? $9, $10?
Yeah,
it's worth the $9, $10 Go Fan, whatever. What are we doing now?
Yeah,
Go Fan.
Yeah. Indy will be ready for that one.
That's
going to be a competitive game. He'll have them ready.
Yeah, but that kid's legit.
Yeah, no doubt. Fairview travels to Creekwood. Giles County at Page. Giles County making a lot of trips to Williamson. I mean, it feels like we're talking about them every week, playing a Wilco team.
Warms Coach Dr. Quall's heart. He loves the Bobcats.
He does. Franklin at Nolensville. That is a big game on both sides, actually, girls and boys. In terms, we'll go through the district standings here in a second. But on the boys' side, man, Nolensville has to have that game.
I would think so.
So
yes.
we look at the girls' standings really quick. Nolensville 2-0, Franklin 1-0. So that's going to be a battle for first place. Brentwood's 1-1, Ravenwood is 0-1, and Centennial's 0-2 on the girls' side. On the boys' side, Brentwood 2-0, Ravenwood 1-0. We'll get to that one in a second. Franklin 1-0, Nolensville 0-2. They drop this one and go to 0-3. It's going to be tough to climb back up and get in that top two. And I don't want to say it's impossible because they're definitely capable of reeling off 5 in a row.
Right.
But I mean, when you only play 8 district games and somebody's got a 3-game lead on you, it's tough to overcome.
Big
for
time.
sure.
And a must-have against Franklin. That's a tough must-have.
Yeah, they got it at home, so that should probably help. Franklin traditionally, on the boys' side, has not played well at Nolensville. Suffered some losses there over the years. But that's one I'll definitely have my eye on Friday night. And then the other one, the Battle of the Woods. Brentwood at Ravenwood. This is surprisingly for first place on the boys' side.
Oh, well, I mean, after the week Ravenwood's had, and it's at Ravenwood, right?
It's at Ravenwood. So Ravenwood has a chance to kind of take an early. This could be a separation Friday for the boys and the girls' side. Nolensville has a chance to kind of put everybody in the rear view on the girls' side.
Yes.
Brentwood has a chance to do that on the boys' side. But, man, Ravenwood sneaks another one on them, then that kind of changes the whole dynamic of the boys' side of the district, for sure.
Safe to what 60, 55, 65, where is the points where if it gets above that, it's Brentwood?
Ravenwood's got to play in the 50s.
50s?
Anything over, if it's in the 60s or heaven forbid the 70s, I think Ravenwood is in a lot of trouble. That means Brentwood has shot the ball really well, and that's what they do. When they shoot the ball well, they're going to win games. We'll see. They probably try and put a lot of pressure on them on the perimeter, try and turn them over. Ravenwood has kind of been loose with the basketball in the 4 or 5 times I've seen them play this year. This is a chance for Brentwood to kind of make a statement that they really are who they are. So we've got 2 teams ranked in the top 10. Nolensville is ranked in the top 10 on the girls' side. Brentwood is ranked in the top 10 on the boys' side statewide. We could get in a whole diatribe about how lazy those rankings are. Actually, Franklin is still ranked in the top 10 after losing to Summit. Here's the problem with it, and this is no disrespect because I feel like the Middle Tennessee sports writer.
Do you want to put this on?
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
But the Middle Tennessee sports writers do their research. like Tyler Palmatier, who has a vote. I feel like he kind of has a grasp of like who's good in East Tennessee, who's good in West Tennessee. I think people in the other areas of the state just like they're 11-3. Let's put them in there. And I can give you an example. 2 years ago, when I had that really good team at Ravenwood, we were, 14-0. We lost 2 games, 14-2. They had us ranked 3rd in the state. Now we were good. I thought we deserved to be in the top 10. We weren't 3rd. We should not have been ranked over teams in Memphis. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
Speaking of Memphis, in Brentwood's last loss, Bartlett? Brentwood's last loss was Bartlett, wasn't it?
I think it was in the Battle of Nashville. So they've that's the impressive thing. They've handled the teams they're supposed to handle. Had a narrow loss or narrow win against Nolensville. I think that's why Nolensville's so disappointed to be 0-2 as we move forward. So, anything to add for this week?
Yeah, man. No, great job. Those are some exciting basketball games. Friday night's that's a good slate of basketball.
Yeah. No.
Have you made up your mind? Or are you going to try?
I'm helping Joe Williams out with the radio. I think we're going to Nolensville. I don't know. I haven't heard from him today, so we'll be at the Nolensville game or the Ravenwood game, one of those two. So can't go wrong either way. I mean, that Nolensville game is arguably a bigger one just because of the impact it's going to have on district standings since Brentwood and Ravenwood are both undefeated. So
Yeah, those will be fun.
we'll see how it plays out. So thanks for joining us. Stay tuned to Twitter this week so you know what's going on in case the weather gets a little dicey and changes some stuff. But we appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you on next week's WCS Sports Connection.